In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and for the chance to learn once more. Bless our minds with focus, wisdom, and understanding as we review tonight. Guide our mentor as she share her knowledge and help us students to remember what we have studied. Keep us always safe, patient, and motivated, even in this online setting. May everything we do bring honor to you. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jay. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. So those who were not around last night, please catch up in our recording. Okay. So where were we? Then
Number 11 po.
okay. So but before I go to number 11, let me just check again number 1, so that I can explain the strategy again. Like, okay. So if you can see question number 1, a small nonprofit is considering restructuring its organization to enhance internal communication. So what type of organizational structure would be most appropriate? Okay. So when answering board questions, especially those which you find very tricky, I just want to emphasize that there are 3 categories of words. So we can say scope, no? Scope words. So scope words means that the phrase tells you the problem, okay? The setting and scale of the problem, yung setting niya. So here it is a small nonprofit, okay? Small nonprofit. So that's the setting and scale. So you immediately think small stuff, 'di ba? Pag small nonprofit, alangan naman na huge number of 'di ba? Siyempre, small stuff or there are limited layers, 'di ba? So almost flat, sabihin mo na. So nakukuha mo na 'yan, 'di ba? But I try to continue characterizing those words that you need to underline or to to take note. So you also it will also come to your mind about probably limited yung departments and and that's why there's a need for faster coordination, di ba? So that scope, yung number 1 na group of words, scope words, or that scope screens out structure or structures designed for out na yung mga large, out na yung complex organizations. Ibig sabihin, we can eliminate yung mga like matrix arrangements. I've answered this number 1 problem last night. So kasi yung meaning matrix arrangements means this is with multiple reporting lines, parang gano'n, and then the second type of words you need to take note in analyzing a problem is task word. So meron tayong sinasabing task word. Words means what the question is asking you to choose. Ano yung task mo? Kasi yung scope mo, i-scope mo lang siya yung mga keywords, di ba? So, task words means what the question is asking you to choose. So, most appropriate. Okay? Most appropriate. Yan yung task mo, di ba? So, most appropriate tells you you are not looking for something that's that is merely possible or sometimes used, but most appropriate. So parang strict siya, no? In a strict sense. So you must pick the best fit given the goal and context, even if more than one option could work in real life. Iba yung practice, yung real life or hindi nangyayari talaga dito. So we always think, so para we can avoid overthinking, kailangan i-ano natin, ano, um, you need to set your mind that you're taking the board, you are preparing for the board exams and not for practice muna. Kasi otherwise you will be frustrated and therefore you will not make it. Diba? So, then task words, ano pa ba? So, meron pala, so I'm done with task words, ano. And then the third one is yung sinasabi nating constraint. Constraint words. Constraint words word means the specific objective that controls the answer. So, enhance internal communications, diba? To enhance internal communications tells you that the criterion for judging each option. Ito, di ba you are judging this, ano ba talaga? So, each enhance and internal communications tells you, okay, or you choose the structure that shortens communication paths and reduces filtering and delays, and yung kasi enhance internal communication. So this is something among kasi because of the word internal din. So that's the controlling words or the constraint words, and you reject options that add layers. So that add layers or ambiguity or extra coordination burdens, yung mga nagko-complicate. Ganon. And so, di ba meron siyang characteristic na, hierarchical. So it means madaming layers. So you can already eliminate, di ba? And then yung matrix, na it's complicated din kasi yung about reporting lines ito na dalawa-dalawa. And then yung flexible, it's, di ba, when it's flexible, it could be, it entails complexity din, So, but if you can answer directly, why not? Di ba? Kaagad, flat yan. So, you're very sure of your answer already. Pero, what I'm trying to teach you tonight or even last night is this test-taking technique or strategy. So, tatlo yung i-ano natin. Pero, hindi naman not necessarily na, ano yung scope words, ano yung task words, concept. Basta automatic na yon kapag mag-iisip kayo. 'Di ba? Kailangan lang talaga practice in answering difficult questions. Okay, now I go now to okay, note this one. Then I can now go to number 11. Okay? So let me clean this. Okay, I'll give you 10 seconds, okay? To read the question. 10 seconds na. So moment lang ha. Just okay. So, question 2. Typical, sorry. Yun ba? Question 11 pala yun. Okay. The location of cellular phone towers is determined by which of the following? So, is it something familiar? Meron bang similarity or parallel ba siya for in Philippine setting? Kapag ka i-situate natin yung question na yan sa Philippine setting, is it something, meron ba tayong maisip na, because it's AICP question. So, what the question is really testing or asking is that this test the boundary between federal communications regulation and local. So, parang sa Philippines sana is national and but please don't think about Philippine setting kasi this is AICP, no? At least it will teach us, ganun pala yung American setting, ano? So, we are we have to choose between federal, okay, setting and local, okay, local. So, the boundary between federal communications regulation, like the OTR sana, ganun, ano, and local land use authority, meaning who decides siting through zoning and permits. Diba? So that's our very main concern. And so if we use decision words, yung tatlo kanina, decision words yun na, okay, there's scope, there's task words, constraint words. Yung scope word kasi is cellular location, cellular phone towers. Then yung task words mo is sino? Okay, the location. So we need also to encircle probably in location and who determines the location. And so wala namang so is determined by which of the following. So rely on standards on standard US land use practice. Then yung merong din strategy na you need to kahit i-reward mo, i-rephrase mo, you still come up with the same thing. So, ang ibig lang sabihin ng question is, so who decides whether a tower can be placed on a particular parcel through zoning compliance and local development permits? So, parang gano'n, ano? And so, you can also, kung sobrang nahasa na kayo, you can predict the answer before looking at choices, di ba? Alam mo na kaagad, there are some people na gano'n na you expect local government kaagad because siting is, a land use or a land use decision. And so, when we eliminate the FCC here, the Federal Communications Commission, we can already eliminate pag alam mo na ganon because it regulates communication rules and limits certain local actions, but it does not typically approve the specific parcel location. Iba kasing tinatanong niya diyan, di ba? The typically approve kasi location yung tinatanong. So in the US setting, it regulates communications rules and limits certain local actions, but it does not typically approve the specific parcel location through zoning permits. So, and then, so we can, okay, we eliminate that. And then, State Utilities Commission. So, anong ibig sabihin niyaan? We can also eliminate because they regulate utilities. Ito we're not talking about Philippines. So we can eliminate because they regulate utilities at state level, di ba? Federal and state kasi yung state level. So and it may oversee some telecom matters, but they generally are not the local zoning authority deciding site placement. Okay, so okay. And then yung C, because that's the correct answer. So we skip first, then we go to metropolitan planning organizations. Ang metropolitan is, so what's letter D, di ba? We can eliminate because, ano yan? They do, okay, MPOs, meaning okay, metropolitan planning organizations in the US context, they do regional transportation planning and not local land use permitting. Pero hindi alam ng most Filipinos, they do not know the context, di ba? Pero pag if we encounter like this, you apply the same principle. So what we are trying to achieve here are the appropriate principles that we can make use of. So we answer local government jurisdictions because the rationale there is that the question is about physical location. So in US planning practice, local jurisdictions control land use through zoning and development review, which is the process that determines where structures like towers may be placed. So how would we support that answer in supporting, like a legal basis or doctrine or any theory, concept, ganon. So the legal planning principle is that land use regulation is primarily local under police power and state enabling authority. So federal communications regulation can constrain how localities regulate towers, but it does not replace the local siting and permitting role for the specific local decision. So, okay. Now, mag-isip lang ako for, so, ano yung equivalent question probably or context in the Philippines? Telecom, di ba? Telecom is regulated nationally, but when we cite towers, it still requires LGU clearances and zoning compliance plus building permits and related local approvals. So the same practical idea applies. The operating rules may be national, but the place on the ground still goes through local permitting. Okay, now we are okay with this. For number 12, okay, the rational comprehensive method for decision making requires all of the following except. So, napakadaming ganitong question in 2024 and 2025 boards. Okay? So, except, parang ganon. And then, so, what the question is really testing here is this test planning theory on the rational comprehensive model. Diba? So, the rational comprehensive model method. But that theory of rational comprehensive model, meaning decisions are made through systematic goal and value clarification. Again, please, US context muna tayo. Later na ko na lang sasabihin yung Philippine counterpart or any similar principle with Philippines. So, and if we evaluate, it's still comprehensive. And if we gather data, it's still broad, di ba? So, not about any yung mga story or it's informal story-based judgment. Or so if we try to apply decision words to mark on the page here, so the scope words is rational comprehensive method, pwede ring decision making. So yung task word mo is except. So paano mo yan aansarin, di ba? And then yung constraint word is requires. So I'm not sure if you are following it, but it said the rational comprehensive method for decision making requires all of the following except. So now the question, so which option, ang sinasabi lang naman dyan, which option is not a requirement of rational comprehensive decision making? So you need to be very quick there, meaning it does not fit a systematic or evidence-driven or comprehensive evaluation approach. So expect the except choice to be the one that relies on informal or unverified inputs rather than comprehensive evidence and analysis. Di ba? Kasi yung rational comprehensive method, it entails the opposite. I mean, it should be systematic, yung mga characteristics na ganon. So, we keep letter A, we okay, clarification of values, the mere fact that you are the clarifying, I mean, the goals, because rational planning starts by clarifying goals, diba? And values, so the plan knows what it is optimizing for. So you can keep that. Okay. Letter B, rational consideration of extensive data. Nagbibigay siya ng ano it is giving you hints, clarification, di ba? There is a system, there's a process. So consideration of extensive data. So because rational comprehensive planning or method relies on extensive information to evaluate alternatives and consequences. And then the letter C, anecdotal information. Is that the answer? And then letter D, the model assumes comprehensive consideration, di ba? Consideration of all relevant factors. So, would you agree that the answer is letter C? Because that's the one that it has to be yung except, di ba? Except? Is it? So, anecdotal information is not a requirement of the rational comprehensive approach because it's not systematic. So, the keyword there is mauna muna yung what characterizes being rational, ganon. Rational and then comprehensive, because it is not systematic and not necessarily representative and not adequate as the basis for comprehensive evaluation. Okay. So that's the correct answer. The rational or when we, di ba, anecdotes may appear in public engagement, but they're not treated as required input for rational comprehensive decision making. They cannot substitute for comprehensive evidence and analysis. So, yeah, AICP, context, I mean, if we look at public policy references within the US context, it describes the rational comprehensive model by, it describes a systematic consideration of alternatives and trade-offs using information rather than informal like story type or story-based reasoning. So, so I hope you can practice more questions about yung mga except para hindi kayo malito. Kasi paano na kung dire-diretso na 20 items yun, so you lose 20 items. O kahit 10 points, you lose 20. Kahit 1 point, you lose 1 point. And yun lang yung kailangan mo to pass. Paano na yun, di ba? So it matters na alam mo yung paano mag-answer ng, except na except choice or so so if the stem, di ba yung stem yung kanya, if the stem says rational, comprehensive, and as except, pick the option that is informal. I mean, for this specific lang, no? Na question. So, I'm thinking about the counterpart naman. Kapag ka EPLE naman, like, you're taking the 2026 board exam, and so, i-contextualize natin sa Philippines. So in CLUP practice, the process is explicitly framed as rational and evidence-based, built on data analysis and consideration of relevant factors, then translated into policies and land use decisions. So public consultations matter as well, but they are treated as inputs to be validated and integrated, and not as a decision rule by themselves. So we don't really talk so much about anecdotal, di ba? So ang pwede nating i-counterpart dito are uh, those comments that we pick up during public consultations. Okay. So we have the next question. It should be okay, ganito. Okay, I'll give you 20 seconds. Okay, just glance muna. Okay. So we have the next two questions. Sabi niya na, refer to the implementation schedule illustrated in the chart. So there, we have a chart. Normally in board exams, nagbibigay din sila ng chart, no? Or photo, or lalo na you're taking it digitally or virtually, and so it should be easier now for PRB to put more illustrations. So this test, basic project scheduling interpretation. So you match a time window. So meron January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. But you don't do that during project. Tapos na i-check mo. Paano? Hindi mo naman gagawin yan. Just for purposes of exercising critical thinking tonight. So there's a timing here from January 1 to December 1. And so it's called milestones, diba? So, and this schedule, this, when you, so that this one must logically, so just a moment, you match a time window on a schedule to the activity that logically must happen during that time, so later milestones are not delayed. Okay, or during that window. So decision words to mark here are meron siyang sinasabing line 2. Line 2. Okay? Line 2. And kaagad, if you notice, itong mga, like for example, line 2, and so immediately, you mark line 2 there. Kasi may line 1 doon. Okay, and it's asking the best time. Okay, line 2 on the chart above indicates the best time too. Okay, so what are the constraint words? So dapat the timing of construction, kita mo ito, construction, and then installation, but okay, and begin operation. So install shown here, you can see also. Okay, so what activity must be started? So we can ask, what activity must be started early enough during the line 2 window so it is ready by the later phase when the building is being fitted out and technical equipment is installed. So expect something when you predict the answer, no, before looking at the choices. Kasi sa question line 2 on the chart above indicates the best time to. Di ba? So, line 2 here sits during the period when the project is moving through construction. Moving through construction, nakalagay dito. Moving through, okay, just a moment. Alisin ko, baka ma-confuse kayo. So, construction. Before the later phase labeled install technical equipment. So, yan, and then ito. So, moving toward that. Diba? So, how do we provide analysis here? Because line 2 is a preparatory window for something that must be ready for installation and commissioning later. So, what it's trying to, kapag ka, halimbawa, myself, I'm finding it very hard to explain, for example. So, what it's really requiring, kasi pag sinabi mong line 2 on the chart, you can see construction, indicates the best time to, so either construction or alangan naman na alangan naman na yung mga natapos na here, no? So it should be towards the best time now to what? To blank, parang ganon. But if you look at kapag kabaliktarin natin yung strategy natin, you look at the answers naman, parang hindi ko makaya yung just merely looking at the graph. So another way is to look at the choices. So is it in line 2, does it indicate the best time to order equipment? Or is it the best time to calculate annual operating cost? Meron ka bang nakikita dyan na kapag ka na-construct mo na and then calculate annual operating cost or higher operational staff? For sure, higher operational staff, you can immediately eliminate kasi operational staff, we're not yet in the operations. Nandito pa lang tayo eh. And dito naman yung begin operations. So if you can see, hanggang dito lang, di ba? Dito. So, and then letter D naman, publicize the project to generate public use. Wala pa yan di ba? Wala pa. So, you will be torn between A and B. But can you eliminate now here? Because in calculating annual operating cost, that's letter B. Kasi it's incorrect because annual operating cost can be estimated at many points, and it's not tied to just the construction window like line 2. It is a budgeting task that is not dependent on that specific segment, di ba, yung construction. Kapag ka ba construction, it is the best time to calculate annual operating cost? Hindi, di ba? So parang malayo siya. So if you use common sense and then before installing, syempre you order equipment, it's something like this, it's something here, because we are already installing technical equipment, but in the choice, ordering equipment could be the pre-activity before installing, di ba? So what I'm trying to say here is that equipment that will be installed later has procurement lead time, meaning specifications, bidding or purchasing, fabrication, delivery, and also coordination with the building layout. So if you wait until the installation phase starts, the project risks delay. So line 2 is positioned earlier here specifically to protect the later installation and opening milestones. So in standard implementation scheduling, procurement of long lead times is scheduled during earlier construction. So the equipment arrives in time for fit out or testing and commissioning before occupancy and operations. I hope you got that. So, 'di ba yung letter B, it's incorrect because pwede naman calculate means estimation, 'di ba? When you calculate, is it something a major activity? You can do that at any time, 'di ba? At many points. O hindi naman siya nakadepend doon sa construction, 'di ba? So it's the reason why this is the correct answer. Ordering equipment. O ang hirap, 'di ba? So mas mahirap pa dyan yung board exam ninyo. Mas mahirap pa. So, kailangan you strengthen your critical thinking. There's a lot of common sense, but common sense is not enough. Critical thinking is not even enough. Because you may be confused when you, may tendency na mag-overthink ka na. Okay? So, I will proceed to number 14. So which of the following types of buildings? Iyon, paano kaya paano ako mag-split window dito? I mean, hindi ito kasali dito, ha? So don't look at this hanggang dito. Because this 14 is tied to because at the start, the next two questions refer to the implementation schedule illustrated in the chart below. So ito yung first question, and then the next question is, so which of the following types of buildings? Ito daw. Does the implementation schedule above most probably imply? So ano daw? Ibig sabihin, we try to determine ano ba yung implementation schedule na yan. So I will clean it para makita ninyo. Can you pinpoint when you see this figure, this illustration, ano yung pwedeng, ano yan? So, anong building ba yung ginagawa dyan? Okay. Municipal police station, community-based health clinic, waste disposal facility, or is it a shopping center? So, ano yung indication? Okay, i-memorize nyo nga or picturean nyo, and then we move here. Okay, paano kaya to, no? So, ano kaya gagawin ko? Ano kaya gawin to? Okay. Hindi ko alam paano gawin. But, police station, community-based clinic, police clinic, and then waste disposal, shopping center. Okay, we move here. You need to look intently. Ano ba ito? So, first, secure financing. So, lahat naman you need to secure financing, di ba? And then, purchase side, di ba? And then, kapag ka ba, do you need to form governing board? Do you need to form governing board? In this, sino dyan ang if not, okay, we continue. Complete exterior construction, complete interior construction and fittings. So may exterior, may interior, and recruit administration. So ito generic din itong nakabilog. How about recruit administration? or form governing board or itong exterior and then interior. So, alin dyan yung pwede napiliin natin na nag-fit doon sa inyo? Diba? So, this test, whether you can infer the most likely facility type from an implementation schedule by matching the listed tasks there. So we did that with a typical governance and startup sequence of different facility types. So now decision words, the implementation schedule, building type, and then the task words is most probably imply. That's your task. Most probably imply. So hindi yung that's not in a strict sense, 'di ba? Imply, 'di ba? Most probably imply. Now, constraint words taken from the schedule itself. So, yun nga, yung constraint doon, constraint words, if I apply yung tinuro ko sa inyo kanina, you can take it from the schedule itself. So, yung governing board, di ba? Governing board. So, may governing board daw siya. And then, may recruit administration pa siya. Kapag hindi nyo masagot, halimbawa, nasa board exam room kayo, no? So, sayang naman yung 1 point. Paano kung yun lang yung pag-asa nyo, makapasa, di ba? Eh di, napakawalan natin yan, correct pa yung Tagalog ko na you miss that opportunity to gain 1 point and to make you pass or to make you top, ganun. Install technical equipment. Correct ba yung ginapapy ko? And then, move in. Madami yung medyo So, move in personnel. Then, begin operation. So, if we look at this, constraint words, governing board, si municipal police station ba, dapat ba may magkaroon ng governing board? So, if I now try to, so, ang sinasabi dito, which option best matches a project that needs a governing board, di ba? And which option best matches a project that have administrative staffing or specialized technical equipment? O baka naman, kasi kahit isa lang makuha mo doon, you can already figure out what it's trying to imply, most probably imply, di ba? Yun yung question eh. So, specialized technical equipment, meron ba si police na ganon? Then, staff move in, sabi niya, and opening. So, we expect a public serving facility with formal governance. Kasi board may board. And specialized equipment, these are keywords already, not a purely commercial project and not a standard municipal facility with a fixed chain of command, di ba? So, yun kayang a municipal police station usually follows municipal procurement and construction, but it does not normally start with forming a governing board, di ba? And recruit administration. It's not how police operations are typically framed, so we can reject that. Have you encountered a question na parang wala kayong ma-eliminate? So if you're somewhat like that, you skip the question and mark it muna. Kasi so even in virtual or in your digital EPLE, I think you can mark it. Parang ganun. So, hindi ako familiar. So, letter B, community-based health clinic naman, often has a governing board. especially when it is community run or non-profit affiliated, then it recruits administration early, and it requires procurement and installation of technical equipment before opening. So, sounds good? Okay, punta muna tayo sa letter C. How about waste disposal facility? It has heavy equipment, di ba? But the schedule language form governing board, kailangan ba yon? And recruit administration, it's less typical for that facility description. And the project would more likely show permitting and regulatory approvals as dominant milestones. And meron siyang interior-exterior no? But waste disposal facility is very generic. It does not, ang dami namang type of disposal facility, di ba? So let's see. Now, is it a shopping center? A shopping center would usually emphasize leasing, tenant coordination, ganun yung mga language eh. So kailangan may bawat structure, you should know the surrounding words, surrounding terms, ganon. So marketing din, meron ding marketing, and it would not usually begin with forming a governing board or recruiting administration in that manner. So, dalawa. Now, dalawa na lang yung di ba? But a waste disposal facility does not have interior exterior. So, ano yung naiwan dyan, di ba? So, correct answer is community-based health clinic. The combination of forming governing board, pwede. Recruiting administration, pwede. Then later, installing technical equipment. Di ba? Installing technical equipment. And then, followed by personnel move in and operation start. It matches how clinics are commonly organized and open, particularly in non-profit or community service settings. So in AICP context questions, or in AICP questions, the test is not memorizing, or just one phrase, or it's reading the project sequence, parang ganon. So you need to be very critical. And when encountering question like this, for example, choosing the facility type, and sino yon? Meron bang nagmamatch doon? So you can pick the correct answer through the answers, the choices themselves, or through the figure, or through the problem, yung problem mismo. So the problem here is most probably implies. So you don't need to be very strict, and you don't need to be yung, di ba, remember I mentioned about people who the normal, yung mga dami talagang overthinker, no? So sasabihin nila, dapat may E dyan because ganito. So, avoid that. So, dito lang sa 4, and eliminate ka lang. Easier said than done, but that's the only way. Di ba? That's the only way na natitira para sa inyo. Otherwise, kapag ka ikaw ay very exact, and then, mapaperfect mo yung exam, di ba? Pero, pwede mo rin mapaperfect yung exam using test-taking techniques. Okay? So, now, this map, okay, is ito yung representation. I mean, ito yung titingnan mo. So I will clean, I will erase. Okay, so you won't be confused. Yeah, I'm hoping we can produce top-notchers na yung mabilis mag-isip, ganyan na, ma-spot niya talaga yung one question. Okay. So, okay. So, there's the industrial city there, there's the Green County, then there's a lake there, there's a bay, and then the city, okay? City. Wala naman siyang sinabi kung ano city yan. So, Green County, okay, here, okay, shown in the map above, contains some of the best farmland in the state. Best farmland. Okay. Which of the following steps, so this is a steps, should the Green County Planner, so ikaw yung Green County Planner, recommend to, yung gagawin mo, task mo is to recommend, di ba? Recommend to protect this valuable farmland. From what? From which? From industrial or commercial development. Merong ano dyan industrial, okay, or commercial development. So, and then, I'll give you one minute. Sige. Look at yung ABCD mo, yung options mo. So, what the question's really testing? This test, farmland protection tools. Okay, ICP tayo kasi I may be sounding very foreign, pero hindi rin kanito, no? Hindi ito EPLE, but it will be very helpful for your preparation. So these tests, farmland protection tools, so specifically which planning action is legally defensible, targeted, and consistent with comprehensive planning and zoning practice. So ano yung mga scope words mo dyan? So, Green County Planner. So I am the planner, so I will plan for Green County. And so protect farmland, industrial or commercial development. So yun yung mga scope, no? You need to tatlo yun I'm the Green County Planner. I need to protect farmland in my Green County, and I also need to protect from what, diba? From industrial or commercial development. So the task words, what do you recommend? What should you recommend? Ayan, yan yung task mo. Diba? So, constraint words is valuable. Valuable farmland. And then development pressure also. Constraint words, development. Okay. Industrial or commercial. So, ang sinasabi lang naman niya, so which option creates a targeted plan-based, implementable land use control that protects the highest value farmland without using an overbroad or legally risky approach or anything that, but if you predict the answer before looking at choices, you expect, and di ba meron tayong gano'n na while you are reading, we expect already some choices, or mapipredict mo na yung may ID ka na, may idea ka na, and so you expect an approach that identifies priority agricultural areas, kasi sinabi niya doon to protect this valuable farmland. So paano mo, so you need an approach, diba? So you need to prioritize agricultural areas and applies zoning tools such as agricultural districts, yung density limits or overlay protection. Sa yung language of AICP kasi is iba, no? So that's why sometimes could be difficult to explain this one, but I really need you to master your strategies. And so when you look at letter A, zone all of Green County, sabi niya, as farmland, and invite farmers to be members of the Zoning Board of Appeals. Correct ba yun? Because zoning all of the county as farmland is overbroad, di ba? And unrealistic. Alangan naman na lahat yan, di ba? Because counties contain existing, towns, roads, services, and mixed land uses. So, meron ng kanya-kanyang, use. may built-up area. So, it's unrealistic already in that sense. Also, appointing farmers to the Zoning Board of Appeals, ano yan, di ba? Are you seeing some conflict of interest there? Conflict of interest concerns? Because, uh, parang Zoning Board of Appeals is a quasi-judicial body and must be impartial. And so, kapag ka member ka doon, di ba? Lahat ng farmers, members. So, parang hindi siya realistic din. So, we eliminate A. And then, propose a moratorium. So, what do you call? You are proposing a moratorium on sewer connections for Green County. Sewer connection moratorium. Ano yan, di ba? So, it can be used temporarily for capacity or public health reasons. But as a farmland protection strategy, it is indirect and can be legally vulnerable. Pero wala naman sinasabi, parang out of context siya, di ba? Out of context yung, it does not pag sewer connections, wala naman siyang sinasabing sewer connection for Green County. And if you connect it with the protection of a valuable farmland, it's kasi when you try to put or establish or yung moratorium, it's a growth control tool. Parang ano siya, no? So you cannot really put that in your zoning. So it's not related. It's not tied to the problem. So yung sewer na yan, di ba? And so letter B. We read letter C. Identify priority from farmland areas in Green County and modify the zoning ordinances appropriately. Pwede, di ba? Pwede. And then, letter D, promote construction of another limited access highway between Industrial City and Bay City. Bay City pala yan, no? To lower development pressures. For letter D, we can kind of eliminate that because a new limited access highway usually increases accessibility, di ba? And typically, i-increase niya yung development pressure because you are putting road, di ba? Limited access highway. So, especially commercial and industrial. So, rather than lowering, sabi mo nga dito, to protect this valuable farmland from industrial or commercial development. And so, you are inviting, kasi sabi niya, another limited access highway between industrial and Bay City to lower development pressures. So, parang, ano mo yan, promote construction of another limited between Industrial City and Bay City to lower development pressure. So, opposed yung kanyang goal dito because it would likely intensify the threat to farmland. Okay, so we can already eliminate that. And once you were able to eliminate 3 and therefore you have a correct answer, di ba? Identify. And then, yung mga magagaling talaga na mag-spot ka agad, what they do is, okay, yung mga mabibilis, zone or parang, so, moratorium. It did not mention anything about sewer connection. Pagdating sa letter C, identify priority farmland. So it sounded positive, di ba? Identify priority farmland areas and then modify the zoning ordinance. So it sounded good, it looked good. And so kaagad mag-answer na sila pero pag ano naman, if you're really aiming for, na hindi na kayo magda-doubt, and tendency is you try to analyze all option, di ba? Hindi mo pababayaan. And then, promote construction. Why do you promote construction? You need to protect nga yung farmland. Parang ganon. And so, mas mabilis yung ganon. But, you cannot do that in all cases. You still, lalo na kapag wala kang mapili, na. Alright, so the answer is letter C. Now, 16. We finished 20, 10, 15. Okay. 16 is detailed information. Lagi siyang magbibigay na, so the information is detailed, di ba? Detailed information about a community's death. Ito medyo mahirap ito because very American yan, ano? Pero gagawin pa din natin. So, detailed information about a community's death would be vital. So, ibig sabihin, when you know that detailed information about your death would be vital saan? For carrying out which of the following tasks? So, carrying out. Anong task yung importante, yung detailed information about communities? So, how would you relate communities' death? So, what the question is really testing is the municipal finance fundamentals, specifically which action depends directly on a jurisdiction's debt profile, debt service capacity, and credit worthiness. Di ba, pwede tayong umutang sa LGU, no? Using our, yung ERA, di ba? So, pwede tayong, so, communities debt, detailed information, the task words would be vital in carrying out which task. Okay, yun yung task words mo, di ba? Task words, yes. So, which option now is directly tied to credit analysis, where the debt schedule, debt ratios, and repayment history are central inputs. So, when we predict the answer before looking at choices, we expect anything involving bonds. Kasi bonds or credit ratings, hindi naman tayo maalam talaga. Not maalam. We're not really using mga credit ratings, but for purposes of explaining this type of board question, related talaga or relevant yung mga bonds and then yung credit ratings in this type. Okay. So, because bond ratings, so anong ibig sabihin ng bond ratings? They are based heavily on debt, di ba? And the ability to repay. Okay. So, we can already eliminate. Okay. Kasi, yung assess value, sabi ko dito, so let's try to do it one by one. Establishing assess values for property in the coming year. So assess values are set through property appraisal, di ba? And assessment methods. So that information is not the primary input. So we're looking at input kasi yung tinatanong dito ay input question. Ito, ano yung i-input mo? Input mo is detailed information. So data yan, so if you have detailed information about this debt, so it will be helpful, or it would be vital for carrying out that specific task na hinahanap. So establishing assess values, so ibig sabihin ano yung input na dapat or prerequisite, parang ganon, so that it could be it na kailangan I mean vital for carrying out. Okay. Assess values, hindi ito because it's yun nga, that information is not primary input for assessment. Then letter B, applying to HUD for Section 8 funds, hindi naman tayo Amerikano, di ba? So but Section 8 is a housing assistance program. Ito. It's a provision, ano? So, it's housing in the US. Housing assistance program. Just to make you understand this one. And the application, kalagay, applying to HUT, housing, ano nang tawag? Parang department yan, housing, kalimutan ko yung U, ano ba yan? So, the application focus on program eligibility, di ba, kapag apply ka for assistance and you apply Section 8, sabi niya doon, community. And so parang ano to, no, eligibility to apply for that program, housing needs. And hindi naman yan yung municipal debt related to an individual, ano, di ba, application. So, we eliminate that. Tutuloy lang natin, ano, so that although hindi naman applicable sa Philippines, but just to teach you paano mag-spot. And then letter C is venture capital, presenting venture capital fund. Again, it's a type of fund to area financial institutions. So, venture capital is private investment. Okay, di ba? Mga venture capital is private investment finance and does not depend on municipal debt schedules in the way public credit ratings do. Oh, di ba? Parang na-answeran ko na rin yon kasi ang nagmamatter, ano ko lang ta. So, eliminated because about assessment yan. So, yung utang ng, limbawa, munisipyo, limbawa, ng town is not related. Hindi yan kailangan or prerequisite. Ito din. Kasi housing assistance program yan. And then, yung presenting a venture capital fund to area financial institutions is, ang kailangan, you don't need information on the utang on the debt of a municipality or a community to be able to present a venture capital fund, diba, to area financial institutions because hindi naman siya it's about investment, diba, private investment finance. Now, bond rating, so requesting a change in bond rating. So in the US, related yung bond ratings sa data. So, what I'm trying to say here is the bond ratings, okay. Bond ratings are specifically about the credit worthiness, okay. Credit worthiness. And detailed information. Kapag ka, di ba, yung sa credit worthiness mo, kailangan malaman sa isang, bond ratings are specifically requesting a change in bond rating means that pag i-change mo yon, i-rate nila yung status mo. So, halimbawa lang, bond ratings was from a scale to 1 to 5. So, yung issuer, like for example, if it's a bank or i-change mo yun to become hindi ka credit worthy before, but now, since nabayaran mo na, or probably may 5% or 10% pa na natitira, and so, tataas yung status mo, that your credit worthiness increases because you have already paid or something. So, ibig sabihin, the detailed information about a community's debt. So, you need to inform, for example, a bank that you already paid and meron 10% na lang na natitira or fully paid ka na. And so that particular information about debt increases credit worthiness of the applicant, and so the issuer will the issuer of that credit worthiness will now input, it will qualify you to change your bond rating. Ibig sabihin, you have increased your credit worthiness through that change in bond rating. I hope you understood that, okay? So, kailangan talaga yung mga ganun, na you need to understand the terminologies. Pero, this is this is US. But when we try to think about Philippine comparison, just for purposes of ano kaya yung equivalent or very close to this problem, or the closest local parallel is an LGU's creditworthiness for borrowing and debt servicing, including compliance, diba, with statutory debt limits and the ability to obtain favorable financing. Kahit may utang ka pa, makakautang ka pa, diba? So detailed debt data in Philippine setting is essential when an LGU seeks better loan terms or refinancing or a formal credit evaluation. While it is not the primary input for property assessment or social housing assistance targeting, yung kanina yung mga choices, di ba? But for pwede rin naman magkaroon ng equivalent problem for Philippine setting. Okay. 17. Konti na lang, okay? Which of the following land use models, here, these are land use models, describes the pattern of actual growth, okay, pattern of actual growth along lines of least resistance. So these are all, so kapag ka magpa-practice ka, igaganito mo siya, gaganyan mo lang. And then land use models. So along lines of least resistance is the technical term to describe or to characterize which land use models stated herein. Okay, so what the question is really testing is the classic, diba, urban form theory. Ano yung, so specifically, which model explains city growth na may actual growth along lines of least resistance. Pwede mong hulaan kung hindi mo alam, but the scope words there are land use models, pattern of growth, diba? And the task word, okay? Remember to identify the task words describes. Yun lang yung task word doon. So, i-describe mo. So, you already know. It will make your task easier when you're able to describe na hindi yung task word. Hindi na, you don't even need to mention task word. Basta, alam mo na kung ano yung ina-note mo. So, constraint words there is actual growth, constraints, diba? Actual growth or lines of least resistance. So, dalawa yung mga concept mo dyan, actual growth and lines of least resistance. Okay. So, which model predicts wedges or corridors of similar land use extending outward, diba, actual, from the center along major transportation lines? Pag sinabing lines of least resistance, it means sa major transport lines, diba? Major transport lines. So, it's related to transport. Yung roads mo, di ba? Lines of major transport lines. So, it also means, so ano yung mga similar terms, or ano yung mga pwede mong i-connect? Corridors din, corridors. I-connect mo din yung mga wedges, ganyan, di ba? Magfo-form yung wedge. Na urban form, di ba? Yung urban form, no? You remember that? So, yung corridors, wedges or corridors of similar lines extending outward from the center along, saan siya pupunta? Along major transport lines. So, when you predict, so actual corridor, and then these wedges or typically it is referring to the actual, di ba? Actual growth. So what what can we eliminate here? Di ba? What can we go back? Alam na natin lahat yung mga terminologies na nito, ang dami-dami, di ba? Pero pwede mo naman na you can answer in 5 seconds, di ba? So ito lang, just to to illustrate, but multiple nuclei we eliminate because it explains development around several centers. Di ba? Kapag multiple nuclei nga, ibig sabihin madaming center. So, it's hindi siya sa along lines of least resistance kasi ibig sabihin sa road yon. Now, multiple nuclei we eliminate because it talks about not having one CBD only. Okay. So, multiple yun, no? Kaya nga multiple, no? Pero may wedge sector din siya. Okay. But it does not really meet yung problem. Now, yung concentric naman, so we only eliminate because it describes rings around the CBD naman and not actual corridors. Diba, urban form, you need to be very familiar about urban forms to answer correctly. So, eliminate natin ito. And then, yung sector model, so, yun yung diba? Yun yung correct. And so, itong letter D naman is negative exponential population. Hindi naman ito urban form. It is a model, but negative exponential population density. Ito mismo o population density, hindi naman yan land use. So, really eliminate that. So, kahit hindi mo alam kung sector model, kaya huwag ka lang mag-isip because that's the correct answer. By knowing the incorrect answers, you can still select and you can still get the correct answer by knowing the incorrect answers, di ba? So, C is the correct answer because the sector model explains that growth tends to extend outward from the CBD in wedge-shaped sectors. Normally, you can interchange that to actual. So, often following transport corridors. Ano pa ba? Aside from the transport corridors, rail lines also, major roads, shorelines, or other paths that make development easier. Meaning, pag sinabing or other paths of that make development easier means lines of least resistance. And that's why that's a technical term. Ibig sabihin along lines of least resistance, meaning it is when you develop when you make development easier. Okay. Kasi i-connect mo siya di ba? So, it's going toward that. Okay. So, paths that make okay, development easier. So, please remember along lines of least resistance. That's the meaning. So, okay. Number 18. The planning director of a small city. Okay, let me clean this. of a small city, nagbigay na naman siya ng ano, the planning director of a small city wants to get as much public input as possible on a citywide study. Okay. Which of the following would be the least effective method of stimulating citizen participation? So, citizen participation yung problema natin. Ano? So, everything here is stimulating citizen participation. Pero ano yung pinaka-least? Diba? So, the planning, so this tests public participation practice as well. Specifically, which approach produces the weakest participation when the goal is maximum input. Ano yung how much you can draw from people from out of this activity called citizen participation, not just minimum legal notice. So, ano yun? Small city with or citywide study. Dalawa yung scope words mo. And then the task words, least effective daw. Least effective. So, least effective task word mo yan. And then, but least effective method of stimulating citizen. Okay? So, stimulating citizen participation. Now, while while seeking maximum input, which option is the most passive, least interactive? Di ba, baliktarin mo yon. So, and most likely to draw only a small or unrepresentative set of responses. So, when we predict the answer before looking at choices, di ba, meron tayong ganun, but you can always look at the question first before starting to read, di ba? So at least may mindset ka na doon, meron ka ng na set mo na yung mind mo. So expect the least effective method to be a one-way communication method. Hindi siya effective, pero it's one of those things naman na could be input. So when we try to eliminate, neighborhood leaders, basahin natin ngayon yan. Yung mga choices. I hope walang matulog muna ha, because this is important. Yung mga magtatap yung mga gising. Contacting neighborhood leaders, advising them of the study. So tingnan nyo yung narrative niya. Contacting neighborhood leaders, familiar kung taga DILG ka o di ba, or nasa LGU ka, advising them of the study, o di ba yung study niya is citywide study, and asking them to report neighborhood reaction. So na-picture mo na kung ano yung ginagawa, and then so yung sa A, this can generate input quickly kasi, di ba, it's very direct, di ba, through trusted, sino yon, yung mga, barangay leaders, di ba, so it's not the least effective kasi direct yung yung activity, yung engagement, and targeted siya, very, neighborhood daw, o di ba, kung barangay ang meaning niyan. So, it could also reach people who will not attend city meetings, diba? Hindi sila nag-attend, tapos you can still reach out kasi sila yung, ba, the barangay officials attended, but some people did not attend. So, when you contact, diba, planning director ka, and you contacted the barangay, you made use or you leverage the barangay leaders, pero they can still, yung mga hindi nag-attend ng citizen, yung public consultation, I think they can still reach out. So, it's effective, di ba? So, okay siya. But we can eliminate kasi least effective yung tinatanong. And then, The second one is completing a draft of the study. So yung study is yung citywide, di ba? May draft. Printing the draft report. So konting imagination lang naman. And asking for citizen comments on it. Is it direct? So it's something occurring at the later part. Kasi imagine, di ba, you draft, meron ka ng draft, pinrint mo, and then, okay, people, please comment, di ba? It comes later, but it's still it's, people would often respond more when reacting to something specific, di ba, nakita na nila yung buo. But sometimes people would not, di ba, normal yung wala naman kaming nakikita, so it's very abstract. But this one, meron ng draft so it should be easier to, to get a response from people, so hindi siya least effective. Kasi meron ano siya, no? Hindi siya vague, and you can still get something out of it. Now, letter C, preparing press releases. So you know what's a press release? That give the general scope of the study. Okay? And asking for comments from the general public. Letter C. Pwede ba yon? That passive ba yon o active? Kasi we're talking about direct engagement, mga ganun, no? And this one tends to reach only people already engaged. So gives little structure for how to respond, usually generates low quality or uneven participation. Do you think so? Compared to direct engagement? I-analyze ulit natin. Letter C. Preparing press releases that give the general scope of the study and asking for comments from the general public. Press release, no? Press release. So it's something na hindi kasi nagbigay siya ng hint din, general scope. The scope compared with the draft, of the study. So, let's skip that. So, how about letter D? Offering to address interested neighborhood or other civic groups on the subject of the study. Offering to address interested neighborhood. Pag sinabi mong ganyan, it's two-way ba yun, di ba? I mean, offering to address interested neighborhood or other civic groups on the subject of the study. It sounded general, pero nagpunta ka pa rin sa neighborhood, or other civic groups. So you had direct interaction pa din, and you talk about the although interested, nagkaroon ng another terminology, interested neighborhood, so it may be selective only, but still on the subject of the study. So ano kaya? Di ba? Mas ano pa rin. So, when you are torn between C and D, for example, so, i-compare mo na lang press releases that gives the general scope of the study, and then draft report, and then advising them of the study and asking them to respond to report neighborhood reaction. So we can say this is the correct answer, letter C, di ba? So what do you think? So you can think overnight. But that's my correct answer because a press release is a primarily an information tool, di ba? So by itself, it does not create a participation setting. Yung style ba? Kasi least effective method of stimulating citizen participation. Meron kasing citizen participation na nakalagay doon. So, um, yung it does not create a participation setting pag press release and it does not build relationships and rarely produces high volume of representative input. So it is one way broadcasting kasi nagbo-broadcast ka lang di ba? And it relies on the public to self-initiate participation without a structured forum like citizen participation or public consultation. Okay? Ganon. So, if you have opposition to this, and you can always contact me. Okay? So, dalawa na lang. Smart code transect ito. This is really very interesting. Doon pala sa Philippine setting, di ba? Yung, paano yun? Yung higher, we always utilize barangay, no? Barangay level meetings, yung mga barangay, mga general assembly, ganyan, sectoral consultations kapag kailangan natin ng special focus group discussions and we want to see farmers, ganun, di ba? So, we can also establish a counterpart question related to this, number 18. Now, smart code transect, this is interesting kasi GEDES, it tests whether we can separate the smart code application from broader planning history and can identify what the transect is in new urbanism terms and where it strays historically. So, a smart code transect, therefore, is one of the decision words na kailangan nating kasi isa lang a smart code transect and then 1, 2, 3 and then magko-combine ka pa, di ba? So, it's not because the question is not asking about every planning movement that influence new urbanism generally. So, we need to we need to look for a standard framework used here. And so, ang tinatanong lang naman niya is, which statement describes the smart code transect as a coding framework? Kaya smart code, di ba? Smart code is a coding framework. And which statements overreach? Okay. Paano ba yung overreach? By attributing its origins to a different planning movement. So, we expect the correct set to include. Kasi di ba, mamimili ka. So, we expect this, kapag ipapredict mo, to include the zone framework and the GEDES linkage kasi nga, iba naman yung garden city. So, we will try to test each statement against what smart code and transect references say. So, statement 1 is, it says, typically contains 6 zones typically contains 6 zones from rural to urban. It is true because transect-based coding, commonly uses 6 zones. From more natural and rural conditions to more urban conditions. Meron tayong nililabel na T1, T2, ganon, T3, T4, T5, ganon. So, yung 6 zones na yun, sa Geddes principle ba yun, ay meron tayong T1 to T6. Typically contains, so it's a transect-based coding, okay, commonly used. So, we can include statement 1. So, hindi mo na ako magko-combine, no? And 2 is a way of locating and understanding a variety, okay? A variety of different types of human settlement within a comprehensive web of natural and human habitats. So, so that's 2. I will, it's tricky. The sentence describes the transect concept in a broad, theoretical sense, and it appears in planning literature din, but the question is framed as a smart code transect, meaning the coding framework of zones, di ba kanina? Used to regulate form. So sa AICP style, they often mark this as not the best description of the smart code transect itself because it describes the general transect idea rather than the smart code. So ibig sabihin, the smart code here is very specific. And here, sabi niya, is a way of locating and understanding a variety of different types of human settlement within a comprehensive web of natural and human habitats. So quite broad, that we cannot really include this as part of the answer. So here it is general, okay, general transect. Wala kang makikita na to describe the smart code. Okay, so that's what it means. Okay, general transect idea. And then, itong number 3, he has a historical linkage to Geddes Valley section. You cannot answer this kapag hindi mo naman alam yung Geddes Valley section. If you look at the book, yung about Geddes, the transect idea in planning actually is often linked to Patrick Geddes Valley section. Because it's an early human settlement plus, yung may diagram siya, no? Plus environment ordering diagram. Please remind me, Jen, so that I can make a lecture on Geddes Valley section. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Para maalala ko na how to support that, why we need statement 3 as true. Okay, ito kanina true, ito true, ito false. Okay. False in the sense na general transect kasi siya. And then has its origins in Howard's Garden City is hindi ito because for Garden City is a major planning movement, but it's not the stated origin of transect framework used by Smart Code. So iba yung concept ng Howard, yung Garden Cities naman. So we can consider this as false. So dalawa, 1 and 3. So what's the answer? Letter A, di ba? Because 1 is the Smart Code Style Zone framework and 3 is the commonly cited historical linkage. Remember, the link is based on history. Okay. So, paano yun? So we have to be very careful, okay, in analyzing, especially when they are combined. Now, if I think about a counterpart or an equivalent problem on this, pwede nilang ibigay yan eh. Kasi that's very universal. Yeah, that's very universal. But I really need to lecture on the Geddes Valley section. In fact, I have a poster or article before tagal na, about Geddes Valley sections. I can share you that article siguro. I think nakapublish siya. So, last one here. Kasi marami pa ito, no? Pero because mag-11 na. So, strategies, okay? To help. What are you looking for? To combat climate change by planners. Involve the following. Okay, the strategy. So, simply, direct yan, so, direct yung question na yan because we are testing whether we can separate mitigation actions from actions that worsen emissions, di ba? So, and whether you recognize some tools there used by planners to reduce emissions and strengthen climate resilience. So, okay, meron dyan combat climate change and involve blah blah blah. So that means you are choosing actions planners would reasonably support, not just any action that affects climate. So here we so we need to understand. So what is greenhouse gas? Itong number one, ano? It directly aligns with mitigation, di ba? So, what is greenhouse gas reduction? Di ba? So, please, it's positive, increasing VMT, adaptive reuse, water conservation. Water conservation also is supports climate adaptation. Kasi tinatanong mo, ano yung magsusupport ng climate change din, di ba? So, water conservation supports climate adaptation, can also reduce energy and emissions tied to water treatment and pumping while improving resilience in drought and heat risk, etc. So this is, you can include this one. Positive din yan, and water conservation, GHG reduction. How about adaptive reuse? Adaptive reuse avoids demolition, diba? We use this terminology in heritage planning. And so, we avoid demolition and new construction impacts. And can reduce embodied emissions and what? So, adaptive reuse is applied in heritage planning. So this is obviously supportive of combating climate change. So ito lang yung nakuha na natitira because increasing VMT is negative because it increases travel activity. Vehicle miles, V is vehicle miles travel. Okay. So, when we say VMT, increasing VMT is we increase travel activity and is associated with higher transportation emissions. So, not mitigation. So, it's not helping. Diba? So, yan lang yung aalisin natin. So, answer is 1, 3, 4. No? So, this is the correct answer. So, I think that should be all for tonight. I hope you learned something. So, take it away, Jen.